Sheila O'Shea.
My name is Sheila O'Shea. I'm a resident of Round Hill Condominiums at 5400 Boswell Road, across the street from the property in question. I wish these points to be taken into consideration as you consider the deferral. The Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act reads in part as follows. No government shall impose or implement a land use regulation in a manner that imposes a substantial burden on the religious exercise of a person, including a religious assembly or institution, unless the government demonstrates that imposition of the burden on that person, assembly, or institution is in furtherance of a compelling governmental interest and is the least restrictive means of furthering that compelling governmental interest. The traffic and parking difficulties that would result in having this office building rezoned as a church strike me as a compelling governmental interest. The parking spaces provided, even with the basement parking, are insufficient for the stated and intended use, as many have already concluded. Additionally, Mr. Adams' presentation at the Planning Commission described a large amount of space intended for the public, and the church recently launched a multi-million-dollar television and internet ad campaign to raise awareness of Scientology. Where are those who are curious about Scientology going to park if the congregation has already filled the parking lot to capacity, as they did not long before this petition was first put up to public scrutiny? I remain uninterested in hosting any overflow in my parking lot. Despite Mr. Galloway's insistence that the building was bought with eyes open, it is clearly unsuitable for use as a church, and the city of Sandy Springs is under no obligation to suffer the consequences of the Church of Scientology's mistake. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who wishes to speak? Mr. Galloway, did you want to come on?
The intent of the conditions that we have worked with staff and with your city attorney's office to develop is to address the concern with regard to parking, to make sure that there is sufficient parking. The Church of Scientology believes that there is. They're willing to limit the occupancy substantially of the existing facility in order to basically prove and put their money where their mouth is. And so they're willing to do that. We would like the opportunity to go over those conditions with the opposition to address their concerns. We feel like we have made every attempt to try to address their concerns. We were given a list of items by the opposition that they would consider. If we would consider approving those, they would consider withdrawing their opposition. We were willing to do that. They ultimately were unwilling to adhere to that. We will go forward and try to work through these conditions and try to address every concern that they have, including the insufficient parking. Traffic has not been an issue because it is basically half that which a church would generate, about half what the existing office building would generate. And so based on those factors, we don't feel that that is a significant issue. I will wait to address the remainder of the issues at a later date. But I'm here to answer any questions that you might have tonight. Thank you.
Have you and the opposition and the staff discussed the length of the deferral?
Well, my understanding is it's proposed as a 60-day deferral going back to Planning Commission. That is certainly adequate. This has already been deferred once before. We do not want to burden the church with an extended deferral, and we certainly want the Planning Commission to make a recommendation and come back to you with the intent of getting a decision next time.
Is that staff's concurrence to 60 days? What's the date?
Yes, it'll be September 17th, Planning Commission, October 20th, Council.
And when will it come back to the council?
October 20th.
Okay, October 20th.
Mayor, I have a question of staff, if I could, a clarification. I noticed that in our briefing, in the agenda that was prepared for us, a package was prepared by the city, the staff, and it, looks like your regular package. My clarification is that package, zoning RZ09-001 CV 09-003, that this package will be coming back to the council at the appropriate time, in addition to the alternate set of conditions that we are discussing tonight.
Correct.
Thank
We
you.
will.
Do I hear a motion?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we defer this until our October 20th meeting, and in the meantime, we send it back to the planning commission.
Second.
Any discussion? Been moved by Councilman DeGiulio, seconded by Councilman Fleece, that this be deferred until our October 20th meeting. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you for keeping it brief, both parties. We'll hear the whole thing and give you plenty of time next time.